We are live.
Yay! Welcome to the I'm Possible episode 19. If you're watching live, enter live below. The replay, enter replay below. And if you're on iTunes listening to us, I know you can't enter anywhere. We have the fabulous Mia Elise and Sally Savasco here. And the Fab Four team is missing one, but she'll be back on the next podcast episode. What we're going to talk about today is 5 crazy profitable launch. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Mindset secrets from micro offers. Yes, 200K is possible. We'll talk a little bit about how on one of my launches back in the day, when I was doing tons of low ticket offers, how a 200K launch was done in 7 days. But I want to talk about now the 5 mindset secrets, because there can be a lot of drama, fear, and frustration during the launch process. Now, in the text of this video, if you're watching us on the Facebook page, we actually have some stats for you, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But basically some fun facts is, and Mia, Sally, feel free to jump in if you want, but some fun facts about launch mindset stuff that can make or break you is a lot of people freak out or create drama when it's not necessary. And we always almost feel, don't we feel like we're like babysitting a toddler, Mia or Sally, when we're helping people with their launches?
Every single launch. Yeah.
So talk to us, Mia, about some fun facts about how much typically the sales come in on the first day versus the last day versus the in-between.
Yeah. So what we typically see is about 30% of your buyers will typically buy on the first or second day. So all those people who have been chomping at the bit, waiting for whatever it is you're launching, they are going to buy on the first day. They're like your super hot audience. They're primed and they're excited. And then about 50% or more sometimes of your buyers will come in on the last day of the launch. So there's all those fence sitters, people who have been watching what you've been doing for a while, but just are not really sure. Do I want to join? Do I not want to join? The people who will wait till the very last minute, like me. There is one particular thing that I want to join, and the doors close at the end of this week, and I am waiting because I'm a fence sitter. So about 50% of your buyers will come in on the last day, which means that in between the first and the last day, it's kind of a bit of a dry desert when it comes to sales. You might see some trickle in here and there, but for the most part, the big bulk of your sales is going to happen on the first or the last day. So there's a few things that we recommend that you do in the in-between, but we also tell people to not freak out. That drama, that freak out, that, oh my God, this isn't working. Nobody's going to buy from me. We see that about like smack dab in the middle of the cart when there's still like 3 more days to go or something like that. That's when we see the freak out time.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, it's like just a good thing to keep in mind that when you typically see sales.
Yeah. And so what's interesting is it's always important about setting a goal first. And that's where I think I want to talk a lot about mindset, about setting your goal. There's a difference of energy. Like there's bad energy when you're attached to a goal too much, and there's good energy when you're committed to the goal. And that also leads into what you do in that in between. But first, you have to set a realistic goal. Like if I say, to Mia, Sally, and Ashley, hey, when we launch Piggy Bank Funnel Live, again, end of July, early August, I want to make $1 million from it. They're going to go, well, Maria, do you have like 500,000 on your credit card to put paid traffic to it, or 250,000, right? Because this is a $1,500 product, not a $100,000 mastermind product.
Right.
But here's the thing is so you need to look at what your numbers are. And I just want to talk to everyone briefly about numbers. We just walked one of our clients through the other day, just how almost passively, not fully passively, but almost passively, they can launch every month with their $1,000 product to their low ticket buyers, or micro offer, or tiny offer, or small offer, whatever you want to call it, campaign funnel that we set up for them. They're averaging about 30 sales a day, which is amazing. And that's not even including the list they're building.
Mm-hmm.
But then so what I was working out with them, and I was even asking Mia about, hey, confirming this inside their email autoresponder account. Are these the amount of people in the past that have bought, their $1,000 product versus their, under $50 product? And me, I think it was like 58 people. So 58,000, right?
Yeah, that's great. That's insane.
Yeah. So then when I compared it to the amount of the low ticket buyers, it was about a 2% conversion rate. So then this is where math helps with your mindset, because then we're like, okay, well, everyone work with me if you're listening to this versus, seeing the numbers on the Facebook post. If you have like 25 or 30 low ticket buyers a day, and that could be your goal, by the way. You're not going to get there in 1 week, but Rome wasn't built in a day. You can grow to that, make that your goal. But if you get to like 30 sales a day times 30 days, that's 900 new buyers on your list times 2%. That means 18 people. And this is almost like math is math, the stats are stats, unless you really, 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 really are terrible. These stats always stay the same no matter what launch. Like so like 2%, then 18 people. That's $18,000, and all you need to do is open and close your cart for a period of time. And before we get to the second thing about commit to the goal, let's talk about this open close cart, because Mia or Sally, this is what we also find. We fight with people who don't want to do that so much, or want to have a long open close cart. What happens when that happens?
It drags out the agony.
Yes, it does. Because psychology wise, people need a reason to buy. Mia said at the beginning, she waits the last day sometimes to buy something. I do too. I even actually freaking go to the sales page and double check how many hours are left. I don't even buy it when there's 24 hours left or 12 hours left. I get so like, should I not? I literally wait till about 3 hours left, and then I finally pull the trigger.
Yeah, me too. And sometimes people are trying to figure out if you have a payment plan versus a full pay. So in my case, at the current moment, there is a full pay option and there's a bonus. You save $500 and then there's a bonus masterclass. The full pay option is close to $3,000. I'm trying to figure out if I can swing $3,000, and is this one masterclass, is that worth paying the full pay? So a lot of times people are trying to also figure out, can they do the full pay, which is usually more cost effective, or, will it make more sense to do the payments? And so that, just there's so many factors into why somebody buys or doesn't buy. So Maria Jones had a question, and Sally, I think you could probably answer this. She says, do you still send emails to your audience every day-ish? And I think I would add on to that, what else can you be doing in the in-between?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, definitely. You want to keep nurturing them and keep that relationship solid, so that when they do finally decide, they're going to be ready to jump on it.
Mm-hmm. What else could you be doing? Because a lot of nurturing, like we know that open rates of emails are about 20 to 30% on the high end. So only 20 to 30% of your audience is actually opening your email. So what else can you do?
Well, the DMs and PMs, well, like if you're running a group, like we have a free group and then we have our paid people in the paid group, the DMs and the PMs are magic. That's gold. I mean, that's, you start those conversations and talk to them one-on-one,
Yeah.
I mean, it's proven it converts people.
So do you recommend, like, I'm curious how, when we first sold Piggy Bank Funnel Live the first time, you were like very involved in closing a lot of those sales. What was it that you did? Because we went live, right, a few times. And then what were you doing on the background? Because we went live and then we walked away, and then Sally did a lot of the closing.
Well, it was interesting because not only was I reaching out to people and having these private conversations, but they were reaching out to me because I was all over the place while you were live. Mm-hmm. Remember them joking around about Sally's everywhere?
Yeah, that was funny.
That's what was happening. I was everywhere. I was all over the place. I was chatting with everybody, and they knew to come to me with their questions.
Yeah.
And they feel that personal touch when they come to you, and they can actually reach out to you, because a lot of people aren't reachable. A lot of people in our space don't have that one-on-one interaction with people.
And that's something you do so amazingly well. So I would make a recommendation, if you possibly can, during a live launch, to have somebody like Sally, who is on your team, who shows up everywhere, in your communities, on your lives, on your webinars to answer questions, to pop the link in. We might be like flying off the cuff and saying like, go visit this link, but we don't have it accessible right there. So Sally would go and grab that link and drop that in the chat. So if you don't have somebody like that and you're interested, Sally does that so amazingly well.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
like
What would you call yourself? I would call that a community manager, but it's so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to put a label on it because there's so much to it. It's not just customer service. It's not just sales. It's like, because actually sales is my background. As I started a watch party. When we do this, I always do a watch party. So we've got we've got some folks here that are joining us that are actually friends of mine. So they know I've been in sales a long time because some of them I used to work with at some big company. At any rate, so sales is my background. So I kind of jack of all trades. I've done soup to nuts, run $10 million companies, run $24 million territories, and customer service right from the beginning to the end. So it's a wide range of things. It's not just, I don't think you can put a title on it because it's like, I do whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
You need a Sally. We're gonna say that you need a Sally.
The Sally sales accelerator formula.
The Sally effect. You need a Sally. So if you don't have a Sally, reach out to Sally. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So what else do we have? We've got the mindset, right? So knowing your numbers, knowing what you can expect. What if this is your first launch, Maria? What if you've never done a launch before? What's a safe conversion rate?
Well, it depends whether you're launching to low ticket buyers. Like if you've got into our, if you haven't, by the way, this podcast is sponsored by microoffermagic.com. So if you want to learn how to build your list for free, your buyer's list, because when you sell something, you typically make your money back or more, low ticket. If you're first time doing a launch, and if you're selling to your low ticket buyers, then just like these numbers, I think that's fair to say 2%. If it's like $1,000 product or more. If it's like $100 product or 500, 300, I would go as ballsy as say 20%, because we've seen that, and we do that. Like we just did kind of a relaunch of $77 sale from $500 for micro-offer traffic system. And the conversions, I think on the sales page was about 20%. Now it was warm traffic because it's warm.
Right.
So, but if it's cold traffic, free bee seekers, say you're doing a challenge, if we're going to go there for a second, then typically, if you have 100 people in your challenge, it depends on your price point and what you're selling. But, I would say more like 2.5% to freebie seekers is also about right. Using calculations, we were just doing this yesterday. If one of our clients spends $50,000 on their next challenge, but they first started with a $2,000 ad budget challenge, everyone. Right. Don't freak out about 50. But so 2,000, and if their cost per lead was $5, then they're going to get 400 people into their thing, right? They're selling a $1,000 product. So 2.5% times 400, get my calculator out. What would that be? Because this is where mindset math gets really sexy. And then you can, leading to visualizing, you can this is how I made 200,000. I would actually put the 200K goal and I'd put it everywhere, my fridge, in my wallet, on a laminated card, on your computer. You're looking at it every day. So you activate your reticular activating system, which is a part of your brain. Go Google it if you're listening to this right now. It's so powerful to focus on that happening. So if I go 400 times 0.025, that's 10 buyers at 1,000. So that's $10,000. Now, I think that's pretty darn good. 2,000 invested, bringing back $10,000. I think anyone would take that. Every dollar you spend, you get $5 back. Now, let's say you're fairly new to it and your conversions aren't as good. Well, say it's half as good. Say it's 1 point, whatever that number is, like half of 2.5%, 1.125. Then it's going to be like 5,000. That's still good. So I think that's what you need to be realistic about is, and if you're not spending any money, I don't want anyone to be scared who's listening to this right now, because, and I know, Sally, you've seen it. You could also either use affiliates, and I've done this so that I don't even spend $1. That $200,000 of sales that made me and Sally, by the way, was not through Facebook ads, zero costs in Facebook ads. It was all free to me because I had affiliates promote my $17 offer that then led to the $2,000 offer of mine. And I gave 100% commissions away to my $17 offer because I knew I had something on the back end to sell them. So why wouldn't I want free buyers on my list? So having said that, if you're just starting new, you could just attract people organically into your Facebook group. And Sally, maybe you could talk to this briefly, what you think that number should be to say you're doing some kind of small launch to freebie seekers.
Yeah, the metrics are supposedly to a minimum of 300 people will bring you a 2 to 5% conversion when you get to the end of the challenge. Mm-hmm. If you're running a challenge to convert your sale, and that's a higher ticket sale. That's anywhere from 1,000 up to 3,000.
And how do you think it's easy, if someone's listening to this right now, do you think it's achievable to get 300 people into, if this is example, a 3 or 5 day challenge, if we're using this example?
Well, we know for a fact that the couple that came into our funnel that I worked with got over 600 in just 3 weeks.
And that's why I wanted you to say that. So thank you. Awesome. Good. Okay. So, and this podcast isn't all about, dialing in math tremendously, because I'd love to do another one. We're actually sharing some of our spreadsheets that you get when you go to microoffermagic.com. You actually get, and you'll see the other offers in that sales funnel. You actually get actual financial calculators, so you can, and have a good idea. And we kind of recommend you kind of go high, low, medium to kind of see where things could be. Because maybe if you're really good at sales, you might close 5%. So instead of 10,000, you're making 20,000, and then you reinvest that into your business. We highly advise that as well. So second, let's talk about committing to the goal. I think all of us have done a lot of mindset work. And I think if you're listening right now, you probably know anyone can improve their mindset, right? So let's talk about committing to the goal of, okay, I want to make, on our next launch, we want to make 150,000. Let's use that as an example, 150,000. So give some examples of how we could commit to it. Do one of you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So we always work backwards from our goal. So if we want to make $150,000, then we have to figure out, our math first, and we have to figure out what does that mean to bring in certain number of people into whatever pre-launch event that we're doing. Yeah. And once we get that number, then we have to put our money where our mouth is. So I'm not sure if this is where you're going with this, Maria, but a lot of times people kind of freak out when they realize, in order to get the numbers that I need to bring in, I have to spend X number of dollars, but you have the potential of making a significant return on your investment. Yeah. So sometimes your budget is limiting, and so you have to reduce your expectation, and that's okay, because the next time around you can increase it. But once you've made your plan, you have to commit to it, even when it's hard, even when you're in that slump and you're like, I do not want to do one more Facebook Live to nobody. Even when you are, in the 11th hour and nobody is opening your emails, you have a plan and you have to stick to it, because people are watching you regardless of whether they show up live on your Facebook Lives. Like right now we have 11 people on this podcast I can see, and that's probably the most we've had since we've started doing this. And so
we sent an email out this time.
Yeah, we sent an email out this time.
Before,
but
not after. Yeah.
That's the most we've had live with us. But we continue to show up every single week and do it because we know that this is growing our audience. People are going to watch it after the fact. We're doing the thing that we say we're going to do. So
we also repurpose it as well.
We repurpose it as well. So if you have a plan, if you sit down in your launch plan and you say, I'm going to go live every single day at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to send an email out so that people know to show up live, then regardless of how things are going, you better show up and commit to the goal, because it ain't over till it's over. And we know that people buy on the last day. The majority of your sales are going to come in on the last day. So whatever it is that you need to do in the morning to get your energy up and to get your spirit up and to be like excited, because if you can't sell it, if you're not willing to buy it from yourself, nobody else is going to buy it from you either.
Yeah.
So let me get off my soapbox here. I see too many people come into the middle of their launch when they're in that dry desert of a launch and they're like defeated, they're exhausted, they're doing all the things and they feel like it's not working, but it is working. People are watching. And if you stop showing up midway, so is everybody else. Like all the fence sitters, they're going to fall off. So
yeah, they very quickly forget who you are if you don't show up.
Yeah, they forget that it's available. Like this program that I want to buy into, it's like a membership program. And every single day I'm reminded, oh yeah, I want to buy that before the doors close at the end of the week, because they are showing up every single day. I'm getting an email, I'm seeing it on Facebook Lives, I'm getting an ad here and there. So I'm constantly reminded, oh yeah, Mia, you need to go sign up for this thing that you said you want to sign up for. But if they stop showing up, I will forget about it and I won't sign up for it. And that's just the end of it.
Well, and it's funny. Well, and it's so true. I'm glad you brought it up, that continues showing up, because that's kind of what I mean about don't be codependent drama about it. Like, oh my God, I'm not going to make my numbers. And then you just give up and then you lie down and you get all mad and frustrated because you learn through the process. Because maybe your first challenge or your first launch, you're not going to make as much. The next one you will. And so that's what I mean about commit to the goal. Like commit that, like in our case, okay, we want to make 150,000 on our next launch. What do we need to do that? While you were talking to me, I pulled up our launch calculator. And if we invested 40,000, this is to cold traffic. I'm not even counting our micro offer low ticket buyers, because that'll be extra gravy, extra money. But we would need to invest between $30,000 to $40,000 in ads. So if I go $30,000 and assuming $1,500 is our price point, and I'm using, this is where the launch calculator is so cool. We can have different scenarios, but let's just say we have a cost per lead of $6. Does that seem about right?
Yeah, it seems high, but yeah. I mean, in this climate,
I'm making it high because it's this climate. And then Ashley might go, oh my God, you want me to invest $30,000 in a 14-day period from brand new campaign, right? So we want her to scale fast.
Those ad people, they're so annoying with their real.
They are. I know. So if it's I know she's going to have to listen to her. So if it's $6 per lead, then that would bring in 4,000 leads to our challenge. Everyone knows if you're doing we like a 3-day now, by the way. I think 5-day is okay. And I used to teach it, but I think 2020 is the year of 3-day challenges. And
our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. So we generally see, like, even in a 5-day, when we would teach 5-day challenges, a lot of people would teach to pitch on day 3.
Which is what we try to do sometimes, but then we're like, why not just have a 3-day challenge? And you know what? Our conversions were phenomenal. Like we sold out. We sold out before the last day, and we had to add 5 more spots. So
we set the bar twice. We sold out. We set it and we sold out, and we set it again.
Yeah. So continuing with this example, we're making Ashley be able to breathe because she does the ads. And if I tell her $4 cost per lead, which I think she could probably get for us, but let's just say $6. So that'll bring in 4,000 leads. Already, because I know that Sally would freak out and she's going to have to hire someone underneath her, because 4,000 people in your challenge, if you're doing a 3-day Facebook group, you're going to have to hire people to help you manage all those people. But here's what's cool. We're going to make some of that $30,000 back right away, because we're going to have a $27, what's called a tripwire in the thank you page of the challenge. Sign up for our free 3-day micro offer challenge. And then on the next page, they're going to be served up with a fabulous offer for $27. And typically, believe it or not, everyone, industry average is 2 to 3%, but we've seen us and for our clients about a 4% conversion. People buy. So right there, that's 160 buyers. So that's 4,320 in tripwire revenue. So if we invest 30,000 cash on cash right away, we're making back almost 5,000 right away, like the minute you spend money on an ad. And then when we offer on that 3rd day our $1,500 product, if it's a 2.5% conversion, we're going to the 4,000 people, we're going to have 100 buyers at $1,500, which is $154,000. Bada bing, bada boom. So
Mhm.
there we go. So now that we know that, just everyone, so you know how we commit for it, now we can make a plan for it and execute it. I casually mentioned Sally's going to freak out with 4,000 people new in our Facebook group. And so she's going to go, okay, Mia, Ashley, Maria, I need approval to go hire someone full-time for 3 weeks at least, not just the 3 days of the challenge, but what happens before the challenge, what happens after the challenge, and all that. And if we're looking at making $154,000 in sales, I think we're okay with saying yes to Sally to hire someone at $25 an hour for a while, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then obviously there's a lot of other plans. We know Ashley needs to start running the ads 14 days beforehand, and we have to have the email sequences set up, all that. So, but Mia, you're the one that had a quote, because I watched one of your training videos the other day because I had to learn myself how to make an Asana project from your Excel sheet. But you had such a great quote in there about planning. I think I even put it on our Instagram. What was it about? If you felt the most important asset in any course is the project plan.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because if you don't have a plan, you are just willy-nilly, like, maybe I'll do this today, maybe I'll do that, I won't do that today. If it's not locked down with dates, especially if you have a team, because we're a team of 4. So if we don't have dates, then we don't know, and like assignments, we don't know who's doing what when. And so there's a lot of scrambling and like, oh, did you send out that email? Did this, were you planning on going live? Like, hey, can you get this thing done? So if you don't have a plan, you're kind of like a ship without a sail. You are, at the mercy of the sea, just trying to like stay afloat. So so a project plan, or what's that?
That's saying if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah, you plan to fail. Yeah. There's so much that goes into a launch, but it doesn't have to be humongous. And I want to circle this back around to the launch mindset secrets for micro offers, because what we teach a lot is how to build a list of buyers and then launching to your new buyers about every 30 days or so. And so there's a difference between a like Marie Forleo B School style launch where they spend a shite ton of money and they have affiliates and all this stuff. And then there's a difference, between that and then a quick flash open type of launch to your new buyers, which can be more easeful, can yield higher returns because these are warmer people that have already bought from you. And so what we recommend for our customers and our clients a lot is that they do these flash opens. And Maria, we did one with our client at the beginning of the year. And I think that's the numbers you pulled might be from this recent one, but prior to that, we did within 30 to 45 days of them launching their micro offer funnel, we did a flash open sale and we saw, pretty good returns on that.
It was a lot. I forget. It was about 30 grand, wasn't it? I don't want to say exactly, but the beautiful part of that, because they had a micro offer funnel in place that we strategized and built for them, they're already making about $300 to $400 a day just from that micro offer funnel. So they're getting paid to build their buyers list. And then because now they have this asset, this $1,000 course, something else to offer them, which is what we always advise. And then it's almost passive in that way. And I want to also, before we get to the last 2 points of the 5 mindset secrets of launches, I want to point out, and we'll take a stand on this all the time, please know that sometimes these low ticket or micro offer funnels, small offer funnels, tiny offer funnels are just break even. And that's why they call it a self-liquidating offer funnel too, an SLO, which is, I think Ryan Deiss came up with that name, SLO. And it's still the most brilliant way to build any company, because you typically will have something else to sell them and to sell your customer, your client, and they'll be there. So I just want to point that out because, some people think they're going to have this glorious funnel from the day one. And at the end of the day, you need to test and tweak to craft that. Like ours is tickety-boo coming along. first 2 weeks we did really well. Then 1 week we're like, oh my God, we're actually losing a little bit of money. We made some tweaks to it. Now it's making money again. So just please know that it's almost passive. It's not pure passive that some people might try to tell you.
Yes.
Well, it's not impossible that it could make money like our clients do, but it's not probable, I guess I'd say. You know, you're building your asset, here's your buyers list and your data. You're getting a lot of data for your investment.
Yeah. And the whole point of the low ticket funnel or micro offer funnel or SLO funnel or pocket product funnel. I mean, like I've seen so many names for this type of funnel lately. But the whole point of this funnel is to build your buyers list for free so that you can invite them into whatever your higher ticket offer is. And if you don't have a higher ticket offer at the current moment, that's okay, because you're still building your list while you build out your higher ticket offer so that you can bring them into, I mean, even if it's like a $200 or a $300 something that you can bring them up into. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of like great success with people who have like $297 and $397 in that price point right now, because it's a low commitment, but it's still enough to make you money. So these launches that you can have, you can just launch to your buyers list like your new buyers every 30 to 45 days. You can have a small little challenge into a launch, or like for us, we're doing this quarterly. So we have our low ticket funnel, our micro offer funnel that we build our buyers list with, and then we invite them into a challenge every quarter. And then what we invite them into is Piggy Bank Funnel Live. So we run Piggy Bank Funnel Live every quarter for 8 weeks live. So this is what we're talking about also when you start to look at a long-term plan of where do you want your customers to go and how are you going to bring them up your value ladder.
Yep. And I love that you mentioned Piggy Bank Funnel Live, because Mia, the reason we called it Piggy Bank is that like, this is where we really hold you by the hand and really help you craft your successful micro offer funnel, small, low ticket offer funnel up and live and running within 8 weeks or less. But what I love about the piggy bank analogy is that imagine when you're a kid, you're always saving these quarters and dimes, you know, in this piggy bank. And then as the piggy bank gets full, you cash it in, or maybe you put it into something else. So in our case, like you're building all these little buyers, these are like your little piggy banks. They never go away. And then when they get full, like that's typically then when you do like launch your other product or service too, like done it
These
$27
little piggies go to market.
Yeah, these little piggies go to market. Yeah, so like our little $27 buyer actually within 5 days turned into a $15,000 high-end done-for-you service buyer. So it's actually just cool. You can go so many ways with it. And so to wrap this up, we got 2 other things to talk about, but we'll be real quick because these 2 other things are pretty like say it like it is. The 4th kind of secret to successful launch and about your mindset is visualize the end result. Like, so now that we know it's like 150,000 the launch, you betcha I'm going to be writing this down and having it, you know, by my monitor. I'm going to have it maybe even on my fridge or on the monitor or on the mirror, and then visualize it, like meditate in the morning. It's so powerful to meditate yourself under like a money tree. And I do this, like, I don't know, Mia, Sally, I've never told you this, that webinar to my low ticket buyers where I made $200,000, like 1 hour webinar and then follow up emails. So within 5 or 7 days, $200,000. Before that webinar, I actually lit a candle and I did a little visualization, like I call it the money candle, but I actually I closed my eyes, I got into that state and I did a visualization of selling, because we wanted to sell 200 spots at $2,000. And I visualized that happening. And at that time we were using PayPal, which I don't recommend you do because PayPal can hold your funds. And we had all these payments coming into PayPal that. So anyway, so visualize it. And then 5th, maybe Sally, if you want to talk to it, because it's so important, because this is the whole raison d'etre of life. If you're not having fun, you know, get out, you know, find something else that fuels your fun. So Sally, talk about having fun with it as your 5th secret.
Well, it's just so energizing when you're working with all these people who are working on their funnels and everything. And even just before they even got in, they were so excited, and the energy is still there in our group in the Piggy Bank Funnel Live. It's so cool because we're seeing them progress. We're literally helping people, and they're excited because some of them, they've been trying to do this for years and they haven't had not only the training, but the tools, the correct combination. And it's just been so much fun to work with everybody. And you know that, and the fact that they keep thanking us, and profusely, they come back and say, oh, they tell us how wonderful we are, and how, I mean, I'm not tooting our horn. It's just true. It's true.
Stay there. I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to bring something because I need you to talk about something else that we had fun with. Hold on.
I know what it is. But anyway, so it's been a blast for me to work because I love people. We have such great people in the group. And by the way, somebody messaged our page and wants to know the date of our next Piggy Bank Funnel Live.
Yes. So the next round starts August 17th, and we will kick it off with a challenge, which it's the micro offer challenge, which really set everybody up for this round of Piggy Bank Funnel Live. We did that last round, and we did a quick 3-day micro offer challenge, which really set a lot of people up for success moving into Piggy Bank Funnel Live. So August, oh yes.
I had to bring it up. So that's when we have fun with it. Sally was giving away swag at a secret sale launch. We had these mini launches of a secret sale and a survey mini launch, and people would get swag if they I don't even know what we wanted them to do. Maybe share our secret sale on their personal Facebook page or business Facebook page or Instagram. And they got entered to win swag, and they got t-shirts, everything. So this is Let's Wine Quarantini. I got 2 colors. So yeah. And so it's a little for wine, and it's insulated so everyone can see that. It's so cool. Anyways, I just wanted to say how much fun that was. So Sally, I just got these in the mail a couple days ago. So thank you.
That's great. That's
great. Too fun. Warren says he's in Piggy Bank Funnel Live right now. Clearly one of the best programs I participated in, a very high value provided. Thank you, Warren.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That's the other thing you need to do when you're running all this stuff. Screenshot all of those testimonials so that you can keep them and use them on your sales pages and, and all your things.
Yes, for sure. So launch mindset, let's just recap really quickly. First, set your goal. So we have to start with your result in mind. Know exactly what you want to get out of this, and how many people that will take to get into your program. The second one is to commit to that goal. So no drama. Don't fall victim to the middle of your launch dry desert drama. Keep your energy up. Do whatever you need to do in the morning, light a candle. Funny note about that, Maria, there was one live that you did where you didn't have a candle in your background and somebody noticed it.
That's right. You're actually right.
Third is to make a plan for it and execute it. So whatever that plan is, show up and do it, regardless of how you're feeling that day, regardless of your launch dry desert drama. Is that me? Sally? Oh.
That was me, sorry.
And then fourth is to visualize the end result. What would that feel like, and see yourself celebrating? And that's something we do a lot in mindset manifestation, is celebrating the end result before it happens, so that you're calling that into your reality. All right, friends. I think we've gone on long enough. We jibber-jabbed on this one today.
And fifth, have fun with it. I think.
And have fun with it. Yes. Sorry. Forgot about that fun part.
This is awesome. And if you have any feedback for us, because this was a little bit different jibber jab, just leave a comment below for feedback on if you like this style as well.
Yeah. Our next round of Piggy Bank Funnel Live, if you're interested in joining us, starts August 17th. So look for the invitation into the challenge and then the invitation into Piggy Bank Funnel Live. We do cap it at a certain number. So this round, it was 30, and The next round, I think we are going to cap at 50 because we're getting better at this. But we
Yes.
do cap it. So like that is, not only do we have a doors closed, but we also have a cap. So once we hit that cap, we're done. So just keep that in mind.
Very cool. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And we'll see you next week.